Test, test, test. Why am I not in view?
You're live.
I'm live, but I'm not sure if people see me because I see you.
Don't worry, it's managed by Zoom.
Okay, so then welcome everyone to another edition of the vvvv online meetup. My name is Jorik. I'm one of the people working on vvvv, and tonight I am your host. The way this meetup works is that we would like as many people as possible to join, because this would allow us to have some nice discussions and like give people who present comments, feedback. If you're just joining the chat where you can drop your emojis, yes, that's nice, but you know, the chat is always like 30 seconds delayed or something. For having a nice discussion, it would be nice if you join. If you want to join, you will find the link to the Zoom call that we are in here in the vvvv chat room, or you go to vvvv.org and there you find the blog post announcing the meetup, the 11th meetup, and inside of the blog post you also find the information of how to join. So much for the housekeeping. Let's have a look at who we are here in the call so far. I would like just everyone to introduce themselves briefly and say if they are going to show something tonight or if they're just here to hang out. And if they're showing what they're showing, just briefly, that we get a little trailer of what's going to happen tonight. So on my left is David. Hello.
Hi. Sorry, it took me a while to find the button. I'm still in YouTube backend. This is my usual thing that I do for the meetup, pressing buttons in YouTube and Zoom. I won't show anything, but I'm happy to be here and host you and hang out.
Cool, thanks. Anton.
Anton, it's me.
Anton, yeah.
Just another guy working for vvvv, and I will do a small product placement. That's all my job for today. I'm just hanging out.
Okay. Then we have Finn.
Hi, I'm Finn. I'm the recent intern at vvvv, spent 6 weeks there, and I'm going to show you a little project I did over the course of the 6 weeks internship.
Perfect, cool. Then I have Sebastian Huber.
Hi, my name is Sebastian. I am one of the co-founders of a design studio called Schnelle Bunte Bilder. And over the last weekend, I tinkered on some little plugin for VL, which I will show you today. The plugin is about the OpenAI API, which you can then access.
Cool. Then I have Randall.
Hello, I'm Randall, vvvv enthusiast, and just here to hang out and see what people are showing. So, yeah.
Thanks, cool. Then next I have Bersun.
Hello, well, I'm a vvvv fan, and today I'm just hanging out, just watching.
Cool. Then I have Aristides.
Hello. I'm going to show you tonight or today some music stuff. So let's see.
Thank you, cool. Next I have Christine. We don't see Christina. Oh.
Hi.
And Christine is not alone.
Yeah, I'm Christine and this is Marlene.
Hello, Marlene.
Hallo sagen. Yeah, and I'm a vvvv enthusiast like Randall. I like this word. And I'm just enjoying and listening today.
Cool. See you. Then we have Groovecork. Can you briefly say hello?
Yeah. I got started in vvvv this week. I've been working in like processing of things, but I've been looking for a more like complete generative art tool set. So yeah, I've been learning vvvv lately, and mostly today I'll just be looking about, find some inspiration, see what can be done.
Cool. Thank you for joining. Then we have Sable 2, that's part of Sable Hoover, yes, okay. Then Dominic is here. Hey, Dominic.
Hey,
Hi.
I'm just checking in. What's up with you all? I'll be hanging out on and off, I guess.
Always
Nothing.
good to have you.
Yeah, thanks. I've been busy doing some stuff, but nothing vvv related. So I'll just be hanging back.
Cool. Thanks for joining. And finally, I have Zabi. Who is Zabi?
Oh yeah, hey guys. This is my first time joining, and I'll probably have some stuff to show maybe next time or sometime in the future. I'm working with embedded development, and I'm really interested in connecting embedded devices to vvvv. I've been using it for like years now. Sorry, my video doesn't start for some reason. And yeah, I'm just fascinated how awesome it is, especially Gamma is just, I think it's a brilliant idea. So I'm interested to just hang out with you guys and learning something new today.
Cool. Thanks for joining the call. So that's makes the round complete. And I would like to have now Finn introducing us to his game. And before he does that, maybe he can already start sharing his screen. But I want to say this is a world premiere, what's happening today. Finn is the first guy who created in 6 weeks, basically a massively multiplayer online dice playing game. And we are all here to witness today how this works. Finn, please share your screen. We don't hear you yet. We see the screen.
Yeah, Zoom changed the layout once I screen shared, and now I didn't find the mute button.
Okay.
Yeah, I already sent the lobby name to everyone who's supposed to play. So if you haven't seen it yet, check the Zoom chat.
Maybe Finn, before we start the game, can you show the people, everyone else who is watching, the download for the game, just so they can play it on their own?
Yep, you will find it on GitHub under Bentex VD vvvv Arkel. I'm gonna post the chat into the link into the YouTube chat as well, for anyone interested. And then just hit on the main page if you want to, oh, wrong button, that one. On the main page, if you want to download the release version and play, just go to release version, else you can just download and yeah, tinker around with the game files if you want. If you fix some bugs, let me know. I don't mind.
Cool. So we have decided already internally that we're going to play this with 4 people that are here on the call now. The players will be, what did we say? Randall, Groofork, and Finn, of course. And who else did we assign? David.
I think you chose me, yeah.
Yeah. So do the 4 of you have the download ready?
Yes, it's
I have it downloaded, but I don't know exactly how to log in to this. So maybe if you can share the data on the internal chat here, and I'll catch up.
Yeah, sure. The broker URL is pretty much everything should be left on default except for the lobby name.
Yeah, default works.
I'm gonna post the settings
if
anyway.
if you post them now with this screen share, then everyone can see them.
Yeah, but not the lobby name. That's the important part.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna post everything else in here in the Zoom chat, but not the lobby name. So broker URL and port come pre-configured to to an MQTT instance I have hosted. Then broker login and password you can also leave on default. Then for lobby name, type in the lobby name I've sent you. I'm not going to show that on the screen because if anyone joins later when the game is already running, it crashes. And that's not a feature. So just choose a player name and hit connect. Now I'm going to choose the server role. Now it checks if everyone, if there's already a server in the lobby because only one server per lobby is allowed. Now you should be able to join as clients. And yeah, there's the first one. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. Wolfcock is also here. And number 4 is missing.
David?
Coming.
Take
wow,
your time,
those
we
are
all
some juicy
waiting.
buttons.
Here we go.
All right. Now, usually we would play to 5,000 points, but let's just do it to 2,500 because it's a demo, goes quicker than that way. And especially with 4 players, usually you play with 2 up to 4. So when everyone is in the lobby you want, the server plays start game. And the game pops open. Try not to resize the window. I hope you didn't do it already. Wendell is laughing. Please tell me you haven't resized. Okay, good. Because there's a bug with the mouse way. And when you resize the window, it kind of does funky stuff you don't want it to do. Same if you go full screen, that's why it disables the full screen mode as a workaround. It just doesn't want to do it. So on the button, you can see the players and who's currently playing, was indicated with a little arrow. So Groove it's your turn. I'm gonna post a link in the chat. And already also gonna show it on screen for a little bit.
Right, so okay, so is it kind of Yahtzee?
It's Farkle. So you also, what you can do now is you have to select a dice. You do that by just clicking on it.
Yeah.
And you have to make a selection that scores a point. Whatever all options available to score points are in the image I sent in the link. So you can select a 5, a 1, or whatever combination is on that sheet. But the thing is, you have to select 1 at least. Then you confirm your selection with the middle button on the right, and it moves to the side.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll start with like this.
Yes, the 5 gives you 50 points, and now your options are either you can throw your dice again using the top button, or you can end your round. The thing is, if you end your round, you score the points you see on the left. But if you go again and again and again, you can do it as long as you want, but you have less and less dice. And if you score with nothing, you lose all points you've made that turn. So it's always a balance between if I want to do more points or if I do save. So you could also set aside the 1, then you have already won 50 points.
Yeah, I'll do this and
yeah, now you can
just play safe for now.
Or do that.
Okay, cool. This looks gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. I recently updated the dice models, and now they actually look like dice and not just random blocks with dots on them. Now David's turn.
Okay, so what is that? What is the first step?
Your options are you can either put the 2 5s away and then shake again, or just to move 1 5 away and then shake again with 5 dice.
And how do I put it away again?
You click on it and then select the middle button.
Did it work? No. I'm doing it.
Are you clicking on the dice?
I do.
Do you see a selection?
No.
Do they not turn red?
No.
Have you resized the window?
I don't think so, but I moved it. If that's already enough.
Moving should not be an issue.
It's not working.
Press F4. Let's see. Because in F4, if you go into a view like this centered above the center of the screen, you can see if the mouse wheel is currently doing funky stuff. So if you see my screen, what I'm doing, you can see that the white mouse wheel indicator is aiming where it is supposed to be if I go to the center.
Yeah, I see that.
If it does not do the same for you, then that's a bug.
I'm watching from a different perspective now, like somehow from the side.
Yeah, you can change that with holding the left mouse button and then rotating.
Yeah, I do that. It's all green now. I can share my screen if that helps.
It's just a left click on the cube, right?
Yeah, actually, yes.
It's just a left click. Okay. So do we want to have a look at?
Now the 6 turned red.
What does that mean, Finn?
That 6 is selected.
Okay. And then middle click to do something with it?
The middle button on the right, but you can't select 6 because that's an invalid selection at this point.
Okay.
So but you don't know how you selected the 6?
No.
I assume it's because of the mouse way bug, that it's not actually aiming where you think it's aiming.
I see. So I try to click anywhere. Now the 3 is also collected.
Yeah, then it's not, the mouse wave is not pointing where it is supposed to be. That's a bug I mentioned.
Yeah, okay.
It usually happens when you go full screen or when you resize the window.
Yeah, so, okay. So how can we get around this now? Like, can somebody else?
Try to resize the window again and try to hit around 160 by 900 pixel, if you can aim for that.
Is there any other way to? Is there a way for David to kick him out of the game, or?
No, we could just restart the game. That's pretty much the only option.
Yeah,
did you move it, David? Did you move the window to another screen?
Yeah, I moved it now. I moved it now to find like good setting. But like generally, like if I have selected now 1 or 2 dice, can I then sort of shake them or something?
You would need to select something that scores points. So according to the sheet I sent, it would in your case would be either 1 or 2 of the 5s.
Trying to do this. Okay, I get the 5 somehow.
And then you have to hit
deselect the 6. Aha, now, wait. Okay, now 1 5 is selected.
Yeah, now you can try to hit the large button on the right side, the middle one.
Try to. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, you did it.
There we go.
Yeah, the mouse way bug is super annoying, but there's nothing I can do about that. Because that's somewhere in this white engine, apparently.
So I'm removing this, and then how does it go on?
You can try to shake again.
Maybe rather end your round so that we can move on.
Yeah. Okay.
So now it's my turn. So what I can do is I can select 1 or 2 5s, but I'm just going to go and select 1 because that way I can shake again with 5 dice else I would only have 4 left. And I was hoping I would get like 4 or 5 of a kind, but apparently not. So I'm gonna select a single one and try again. And now I have 3 2s, which I can all select. And just for the sake of it and to show it, I'm gonna throw the dice again. And you can see I have a 3, which is nothing in terms of score, which is called a Farkle. I'm now lost all points that I made that turn so far. And all I can do is end my round, and I've got nothing.
Nice, so Randall.
Yeah, so it's my turn now. Let's see. I think I'm gonna get some fans with this play right here. Look at that. Bam.
You can wait, don't end your turn. You can select everything actually. And now you can either shake again. You get 6 new dice if you do that. Yep, you can. Yeah,
3 2s. Yeah.
The problem is if you would have got nothing now, which can actually happen even with 6 dice, you would have lost your 800 dice that you made so far.
No, I'm lucky.
But,
I'm
yeah,
feeling lucky.
Yeah, now you can either end your round with 1,000 points, or you can try it again.
Wow.
It's me. Okay. I'll just start off like this.
Also lucky.
Yeah. Do I need to select them one by one? Or can
No,
I
you
do
can
both
just
of them?
select everything that scores and the game does it automatically.
Right. Well, I'm good then.
Wow.
Now
David has.
Yeah, now he just needs to hit all 4 of them.
Yeah.
I'm guessing where my ghost button is.
You know, you should make this a feature. It makes the game more difficult.
Yeah.
You know, high skill ceiling.
Did it?
Like you get bonus points for smaller dice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a 5. That's great. I've got another 5. Yay. Oh, I'm lucky. So now I can get 6 new dice. And damn it. Too greedy.
Let's see.
David is actually leading with 50 points. Wow.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's running good for me.
Should I roll, you guys? What do you say? It's a bit of.
I have no points, so you shouldn't listen to me anyway.
I'm gonna play it safe for this one. Okay.
Okay. Can I do? There's no 2 pass. No.
Do you all feel the tension in the room?
Okay.
Maybe some music would help the game.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, can I do? Yeah, that. Okay. To reroll or not? I need. Oh no. Okay. Oh.
Are you trying to do something?
Yes, I do.
Something invalid, apparently.
Yeah, all you can do is a 1.
Yeah. Next.
You're second anyway, still. So Bentech, now show us how this works.
Now I'm the developer. I have to lose, else everyone would assume I'm cheating.
True.
I don't want to go down with 0 points, so I'm playing safe now.
Randall, you can finish it. You can already finish it.
Really?
No.
3, 4.
No, I'm just saying in this round.
Oh.
If you're playing it right.
So if I play
roll the
this
dice right.
like that, bam, and
Oh.
Oh.
Come on.
oh,
Okay. Let's see. Right. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, yeah, I need more armor. God, too greedy. Yet again.
David.
and is this
On
where
it.
is this game from? Is this like a traditional game from somewhere or something, or what's the story?
It's called Farkle with an F in for wheel. It's an actual dice game that existed for I don't know how many years. But I know from Kingdom Come Deliverance, where they use it as a mini game in the tavern. I guess that's where pretty much everyone knows it from today, because it wasn't really popular before. At least I don't think so.
Done.
Wow, we're rolling high today.
It's running good.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it.
So, Randall.
No, I got nothing. Let's see. Yes. It's just I can do this again, right? Call it a day. So close, but not.
Okay.
Oh, David is already almost there. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Have a go.
David, finish it. Show us that you can do it.
It's more the mouse. Wait.
So what we're learning is if you have the mouse bug, you win faster. This is apparently part of the game.
I mean, he's playing with handicap and he's still winning, so.
Yes.
So this one runs over MQTT.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That's nice. I'm going to take that. I heard a question somewhere.
Yeah, this one runs over MQTT.
Yes, over MQTT.
The
source is on GitHub.
May I
If you
ask
want to take a look.
why?
Why?
Yeah, I mean, is it easy to work with? I mean, like, when just
well, it's free.
TCP or something be easier.
You can get free instances of MQTT.
Oh, okay,
with
yeah.
a server uptime of up to 6 hours a day.
Huh, that's bad. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. If you just want to play a game for 6 hours a day, you could do that for free. And it was actually pretty easy to do.
I mean, what kind of data throughput can you get?
Now it's your turn.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
this one hits a very nice balance between risk and reward.
And this bug you're having in the stride renderer with the resizing of the window, does somebody know where it's coming from? Because they're having the same problem in project of mine.
It comes from deep inside of stride. We're going to have a look at this soon because apparently,
Bam!
It happened.
He's gone.
Not bad.
It happened.
Done it.
Hey!
Thank you very much.
Hey!
Congratulations.
One with the bug. made it.
Handicap player to win.
So, wow, this
Great.
was the world premiere of the first massively multiplayer dice playing game created in 6 weeks from zero. Because now, Finn, you have to tell us a bit of your background. Like, how did you find out about vvvv? How did you join us, and why are you doing this internship?
I'm currently in the second year of a 3-year developer school. It's a trade school, so not even university level. It's just 3 years developer course. And I had to do an internship. And I knew about vvvv from the Stride Discord channel. And I thought, I have to do an internship, so why not do it there? Because I didn't know really where else, and I'm coming a bit from a 3D background. I've learned with Houdini, so all the models inside the game are also modeled in Houdini. And Houdini also has a procedural visual modeling way. You also model everything with nodes. And I thought, yeah, I like that. I know that workflow. And during my time at the school, I preferred doing stuff in C#. And I thought, yeah, vvvv Gamma, C# and visual programming. So pretty much overlap of what I learned at school and what I do as a hobby. And I asked, and yeah, they said I can come. And due to COVID, it's of course from the home office. So it's not really that much difference to the 1 year I spent before that in my home office. It's still doing the same stuff pretty much. Just now it was 6 weeks of actually doing programming instead of having to do German, English, everything else what you have to do at a school instead of programming, which is actually surprisingly little for a programming course at a school. And yeah, I spent the first 4 weeks, I never used Gamma before or any vvvv product. So I spent the first few weeks just pretty much messing around and learning how to do anything inside Gamma. I developed a pretty bad prototype, which only worked locally. And in the last 2 weeks, I just scraped everything, started from scratch, and made this game in 2 weeks.
And it's amazing, I can say that.
Oh,
Thanks.
bravo.
Thank you.
Yeah. There was any questions? Anyone, obviously, please ask Finn while we have him on. Grufork was interested in the MQTT thing. Grufork?
Yeah, I found an interesting choice. But I mean, whatever works, whatever is the most productive way to do it, I suppose. I haven't actually looked into networking in vvvv.
Well, I recommended to have a look at MQTT because I think it's the simplest way to get something going of like peer-to-peer, not peer-to-peer over a server, where the server is, where there are free online instances that you can hook up to. And that's kind of, you don't need any firewall or run your own server thing. It's just you're using one of the public services. We can maybe Finn, you can show can you show the MQTT shifter backend? Is that something we can look at? Because that's a really cool service we could advertise here.
Do you mean the dashboard?
Yeah.
The shifter dashboard? Yeah, sure.
So it's shifter.io, and that's a free MQTT broker service, which gives you this nice visualization also. So we should have looked at this while the game is playing, because there we would see how the messages are actually going from player to player.
That's neat.
And they have a free service, kind of limited, but totally fair for things like this, and also a paid service where they guarantee uptime and give you a bigger, wider bandwidth or something. So that's a really nice service and super easy to use to create things like this.
Yeah, it was really easy to use. Actually, you just put up publishers and receivers, and the publishers are sending out strings, and the receivers are receiving strings. And I used .NET JSON, I think it was called, Newtonsoft, something from Newtonsoft JSON, to serialize everything. So the game gets serialized and sent to the players, and the players themselves serialize their player class and send it to the server. And everything is done over strings, and it's really easy to use, actually. I mean, I did it in 2 weeks, so, and I didn't even use Gamma before 6 weeks ago. I'm sure you can do it easily. There's no doubt about that.
Also, you're patching very neatly like a professional. I have to congratulate you for that. Very pleasant patches to look at.
Thank you. That's actually because of my Houdini background, because I learned that if I don't do it this way, if I look at it in a month, I have no idea what's going on anymore. That's
Take note at home, kids.
Yeah,
this is one for all of
that's
us.
a lesson learned, because I have so many work hours just wasted because I forgot how something works and I had to completely redo it again in Houdini. So yeah, that's something I learned the hard way. There's also another bug. I don't know. Do any of you have AMD GPUs of the players who you just played? No, yeah, me neither. Apparently there's a bug with AMD GPUs, but I don't have one, so I couldn't really test it. But yeah, if anyone here or on the YouTube stream has an AMD GPU and tests the game and the HUD works, the overlay where you can see your points, then that means my workaround is working. If not, please send me a message, then I know the workaround is not working.
Cool. And the whole thing is open source. You showed the URL in the beginning. Maybe you can just briefly show it again, the GitHub repo. So this could be also a great learning resource for everyone who wants to do something similar. It's up on GitHub, Bentech 3D Farke.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening.
Finn, thanks for joining us for the internship and now for this presentation. Bravo, bravo.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Very well done. How about we move on? And I would like to ask Anton to do his brief product placement.
Yeah, I will try to keep it short after.
Do you want to share your screen also?
Yeah, I will, sure. Share screen. Screen share. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll try to sell this package, that neat package about generative graphics with vvvv. We will have a 3 hours long webinar on Friday, where I step by step will try to explain you how to do this graphics, like with a lot of, I guess, 12,000 primitives here. Some of them are shiny, so we will go to instancing, because only with instancing you can render so many. We will do some materials, and we will talk about how to render such thing in 4K. And what else? So this is also, everything is interactive. And like we can change really to the, you see that it's like everything is cubes, but we can switch to real primitives. It's now very hard to rotate them because keyboards are like too many triangles to rotate them in real time on my laptop. So let's back to cubes. Then of course you can change all the colors, everything like in real time, and like the patch we will do is much more cleaner than this one, because this was like really what I've done to create this title image. But already here I have some like nice features, like we had to create not only the title image, but title image for social media. So there is like I have a template, and this is exactly the size of YouTube header. So I could easily adjust the image so that it fits in YouTube header. And then I have a special renderer where I can render like huge resolution image. That's not so huge, but you can go higher. And just to show you shortly, this is already like the steps. I broke down into the very small steps. And this is, I have like already 26 pages. And I guess it will be the same amount more, because it's like really step by step. And for example, I will show you I will close this one now, or maybe, yeah. And I will show you just one of them. So you see it's already like something like this. And here we can play with the counts and center, and we can use like, and we will learn all the things, how it's done, like step by step. How to participate? You just go to Node Institute, find this webinar, and click get tickets. That's it. I guess this was the product placement for the webinar this Friday. Please join us.
Great, super. I want to join already. Who else? Show of hands.
Yeah,
Who wants to
that
join?
would be great.
Yeah.
What do I need to do to join this?
Know.
Do I need to know things in advance? Do I need to be a super pro 3D
No,
graphics
no,
guy?
no, no, no. This I forgot to mention. This is very beginner webinar. So really, we will start with the. I will show you the first page. Wait, screen share once again. So we will start from here. So you see, we will have linear spread, box, and a scene window. And I will explain what is this. So we will start really from here, we will go to all the way to the final title image in 3 hours, I promise.
But still, you're assuming that people already know how to patch, right?
I assume that the people know how to place a node, how to make a connection to the node, between nodes. And basically, that's it. So I assume that people watched the introduction tutorials, 2 introduction tutorials, which are mentioned on the description of the workshop. So we don't have to spend time talking about how to place a node.
Yeah.
So the two things, how to place a node, how to connect the 2 nodes. That's it. Everything else will be covered.
That sounds too good to be true already. Looking forward to this. Thank you, Anton. Who else is here? Now we have Ari and Sebastian left with presentations, if I am not mistaken. I think the other ones only said they would just listen today. Any comments so far in between? Nothing? Then I would like to ask Ari next to show us what he's working on.
Yeah, may I share my screen? Yeah.
We have a comment on the chat that the sound is gone.
The sound is gone?
On the YouTube stream. David, is there anything you can see about that?
Oops. Yippee, it's not working.
We see your screen, at
Oh, you
least.
see it?
Yeah.
It was like flicking.
No, works.
And do you hear me?
We hear you. Apparently they don't hear us on YouTube. I cannot check that right now.
Okay.
But let's, I don't think there's anything we can really do now about this, maybe David, but let's just pretend everything is working and we move on for now.
I asked, and apparently most people say it's working fine for them. So it must be a single issue
Okay,
for
cool.
a particular
Okay.
user.
Yeah, because it makes sense to listen that.
Yeah, it's all running. I didn't find anything. I think it's
Okay,
good.
cool. So do you hear something in the background, no? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about my last little experiment. So this is the research I start with tau that I presented in the last note. And after working with tau, so I realized that it was some difficulties in order to do a jam session with other people. So it's very complete, but it's not easy to work in real time. So I decided to make an extraction. So to take the best elements of tau and to put it together. For example, we can add a clip. This is a kind of cycle. We can assign MIDI output, and we can just press play, and it should sound something. Is it not sounding?
No.
No.
I don't think we hear.
Sounds good. Wow.
I mean, we hear some noise, but that's mostly from your microphone, I guess.
And now you hear something, no?
Yes, yes.
So I don't know why it's not sending. Ah. Yeah, let's start again from the beginning.
Cut. We can just live cut this.
Don't worry.
And we're back.
So let's see again if it works. Now? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So you can see here, we have some subdivisions of a time. We can basically change the number of subdivisions in real time. And it's always quantized to the main signature. And also the velocity of the cycle. And for example, we can add some notes. So, let's do something random. And we can quantize it in a scale. Also make it polyphonic on the fly. And we can decide also the interval between the notes. Very easy. And always is in the scale. So we just have one element, and with some very, very simple harmonization, we have a base for a kind of track or something like that. It's very easy. And we have also some probability-based thing that I can change it here. Let's go to full screen. So we can define how many elements are active in the sequence with a very simple but very powerful Euclidean system to define how many active elements we have. And it jumps between them based on certain on the probability. We can define also the how often is it triggered, or if it's triggered every time, or only at the start of a sequence. Yeah. But let's remove this guy. And go to the LFO. So we have also an LFO kind of designer. I can use this guy. I can make my own LFO. Also, I can normalize it. A kind of smooth, making it a bit smoother. And I can send this parameter to anything inside the machine. For example, this LFO with this number is going to go to the strum. And what it does, the strum, is basically it shifts the polyphony, as we can see here. So all the notes are not played at the same time, but they are displaced, they are offset in the sequence. Yeah. Okay. Let's make other, or I want to show you other example I have. It's more like a kind of demo. And this is more based on rhythms. So we didn't talk about groove, but in this machine it's possible to work with elastic rhythms. So kind of elastic sequences. And you can see, for example, how the points are moving depending on the groove map that we can define. This is the groove map. And this is the original sequence without any groove. But when we alter, we can get very, very wonky kind of rhythms. So also very, very harmonic, so natural, so not very mechanic. Maybe here it's much easier to identify the shifting of the rhythm. As you can see here, I made, because I'm a bit crazy, I made a kind of Ableton Live matrix just to jump between clips. And you can see here, there is a huge mapping system that I can basically connect MIDI parameters to anything in the machine or outside the machine. Right now I'm moving a gyroscope, which is controlling several, it's controlling like 4 parameters in the machine. But there are many, so there is also probability per track. let's focus only on the first track. Yeah, and this is basically what I was doing the last couple of months. And also doing rehearsals with a couple of friends at the studio, debugging the application. So I'm also sending MIDI clock to the guys so I'm in charge of a clock of the whole session, and also I can send them MIDI notes to different synthesizers, so they have a nice collection of all 70s analog shit and some drum machines. Yeah, this is all.
This is all, and this is absolutely sick.
Wow.
I'm sick of this.
Yes.
Why, like, to people who are not so much familiar with vvvv, why are you showing us a music synthesizer in a vvvv meetup? What does this have to do with vvvv?
Because it's full made with a Gamma.
That's incredible.
Yeah, everything made in Gamma.
Who would believe that? It's like
I guess Finn now has something to make his game's music with. I was imagining rolling the dice with with what Harry was playing, and it just made sense.
Yeah, I was thinking the whole time, I wish I had any musical talent at all, because this looks so cool to use, but I wouldn't know what to use it for because I've got no talent in that direction. But it looks really cool.
Are you giving concerts?
I did a concert with Tau last December in Tenerife in Keroxen Festival. And also, if you visit my webpage, so aristidesgarcia.de, you can see an extract, actually the whole concert. So it's in YouTube.
Nice.
And I was doing with a laptop the whole composition and the MIDI management thing. And I had other computer in the background doing the projection. So, and I send via OSC all the data in order to synchronize the both elements in the composition, in the performance. It was cool. It was my first performance alone in, I don't know, 30 years. And it was the first rehearsal, and we record that. So it was pretty cool.
And did anybody else than you use the software?
Right now, this is like a personal research, and also there is some people interested on some parts of a tool. So right now it's a bit difficult. Also, there is no documentation. So there is like 500 parameters that you can control, but without documentation, even when the UI is very, very intuitive, and I think it's easy to understand. So there are so many wicked stuff still in the background. You know how to use it. Yeah, sorry. For the moment, not. But I would like to share, if I find a way, maybe with the help of vvvv guys, this thing. But for that, I will need to work with reflections, because right now the whole thing is hard-coded. So I have like a very long list of 200 delegates, and it's not really elegant, I think. It works, but it's not the way I would like to share with a community. So.
Is then where you can sign up for this? I mean, this sounds absolutely blissful. I'd love to use this. So, I mean, is then where you can sign up to get notified when this releases, if it does?
The mapper, the MIDI mapper, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is wonderful.
Yeah, the whole thing, I don't know if I can release it. There are so many parts that are a copy, or I literally steal from other applications. And maybe if I release it, I have problems with other people. So right now, for my personal use and enjoyment, yeah, and during the research, I can share some parts that the people can use in their own applications, like the clock, this wonky clock with a groove map. I think it's very simple in the programming. So basically, the whole idea took me like 1 week to build up the logic, and the 80% was building the UI and making it easy to work with. So basically, the interaction part took me 80% of the time. Yeah.
And the way you approach the tool itself, like, is it basically in, like, do you do sketches beforehand on a paper or whatever piece of digital paper, and then start programming, or is this something that, you know, starts as a prototype and then becomes a final thing?
Yeah, I already passed this phase of doing prototypes. So it was like actually before we start in this weird pandemic world, I was doing some research and I had like 5 different sketches. And actually Tau was the main action, trying to put everything together. And this is like the second version of that. So like a reduction. So it's more simple, and also is yeah, it's for what it is. It's for jamming, basically, and doing wonky things that I like. So
Amazing.
I'm really happy that you enjoyed that. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice to see these like smaller experiments and like expand into like a, you know, a full musical instrument.
Thank you so much, Dominic.
Ari, one question.
Yeah.
So am I right that you're not generating the audio in the patch, but you're sending the MIDI?
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
I don't have any audio running from the computer. Actually, I'm running hardware right now.
Ah, it's a hardware device that accepts the MIDI.
I have like a little.
Oh, nice. So you have like, what kind of stuff do you have? Like a modular sense?
I don't know if I get it, but
for the hardware side.
Hardware? Which kind of hardware? I have like electron machines. I have some synthesizers, some new and old ones, cheap and expensive. But I'm really into right now into digital synthesizers, so with higher polyphony. This makes a lot of fun to make these kind of clusters of notes with maybe 64 notes sounding all together at the same time. It sounds pretty interesting what you can get with all digital gear.
I just dropped out for a moment. I was asking, like, what is your hardware setup? Do you have some modular synths and patches, or did you already show it?
My hardware, so as I say, so I have some drum machines here and some MIDI controllers. I have like this one.
Nice.
I don't know. I have at home like 9 different MIDI controllers. So depending on the situation, I use one or the other.
Nice. Yeah, like I think there should be a lot more of this. Just, you know, having the like vvvv as kind of the brain, the sequencer, and then you just put around this wall of, you know, modular synths and all sorts of weird stuff and just drive that. And I'm sure you could do like some really nice interfaces just, you know, in the middle of all of this. And like for you can really quickly like jam out different sequences. Like this, I don't know if you know the MPC. What is it? Life 2. Or like they have this series of kind of standalone, like everything like a sequencer, a DAW. So you have this device that and it's really intended to also control like a lot of other devices. So that can be, I think, like an inspiration to, you can really create these applications, I think, with vvv very quickly, and then deploy it on a single computer.
Actually, the easy part is to make something that is already done. So this kind of very into the grid sequences that you are very, I don't know, tied to the, I don't know, I'm trying to explore other territories more like, maybe it sounds a bit arrogant, but I
no, it's so that's like why it's, if you're able to connect to other things, then you can really like, not do at all what the other things are doing, because you can integrate them with you can integrate with them easily. So those,
this is my way.
like,
so I use actually the hardware devices as a sound generators. I don't touch the devices. I control everything in using kind of macros. I don't control one parameter. I go from cold to warm. So I like to use this kind of abstractions and use a lot of macros in order to evolve the whole system at the same time. And when it happens, sometimes, yeah, it sounds cool.
It does, very much. Very much cool.
Thank you so much, guys.
We also have...
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Is like for the curious patchers, is this interface based on Elementor, sort of, or did you write it on your own, or like what kind of dependencies generally are involved that people might?
It's super Elementor based, so I didn't build any extra widget for that. But this part is not Elementor, and the monitor is not Elementor, and also the modulation part and the editor. This LFO designer, I made it by my own. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it works.
And these custom elements, they're not part of Elementor at all, or it's just a custom widget that you created and still using Elementor in the background?
I'm using Elementor in the background as a selector. For example, I'm using the selectable component, and basically actually the same here. So all those little guys are Elementor, but the rest is pure Skia. And I'm not running that at 60, so I'm running that at 30. It works much better. Everything is more stable. Because actually I'm generating everything on the same application. I'm not creating the editor in one part and sending the data to other applications. So they work in different cores, but it's still the same application. I would like to have like a kind of version of Skia that is only updated when I do changes in the UI. So that would be great. So.
And couldn't you, like you mean calculating the rendering?
Yeah, it renders only when I interact with the UI, for example. That would be great. So it stops.
Do you need like a special? Do you need a special version for that, or could you just put the like the Skia render in some conditional region? But then you wouldn't get the interactions as well, right? So you need the like input events to be separated from the rendering, which kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit out of my scope.
I think this is where we should actually start doing breakout rooms, going into details. I think we're going down a rabbit hole now that I'm not sure everyone can follow. But
yeah, we can just continue. I'm not holding it in any way. That's fine.
Super impressive, Ari. We got some emojis on the YouTube chat for you. I can't read them to you, but
Rock and roll. I will read it later.
yeah, some favorable emojis, if I may say.
Coolio. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ari. And meanwhile, I'm not sure if people saw that we had someone else joining us. Mr. Gegenlicht has joined us, and I'm just briefly asking if he is joining also to show something or only to hang out with us. Brian, can you hear us? We can't hear you. We see you. Hey, Brian.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so last month I showed some stuff regarding PBR's PBR workflow, yeah. And then I kind of got sidetracked and started working on learning shader effects. And the main reason for this was because if you have a 3D object with crazy wonky UV coordinates, it's kind of impossible to actually blend two materials in a nice gradual way. So I just thought, okay, it would be cool to port some of the stuff I've used in 4V for this. So this is just a really quick show and tell. I will just show you. Okay.
Let's have it right away.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yep.
Okay, so this is a very, very awesome shader done by MicroD. I remember I just asked the question if anyone knows any type of shader that would be enable you to use a bounding box to clip geometry. And he gave me more than that. So it's basically really nice. You can blend it and also blend a torus into it. But I didn't really need it. So I just tried to port the bounding box part to shader effects. And this was a hard learning curve. And I actually only managed it today. With the help of Aka Visuals, who posted a Fresnel shader yesterday evening. So I just quickly patched something together. And yeah, so this is the original shader code. And I just wanted to join today to also encourage people to have a look at shader effects, because the cool part is you basically don't have to code everything, because you can patch the snippets sort of together. So the main part I had to figure out to get ported is, where is it? I think it's over here. And yeah, so it's not much more than that, but it was tough enough for me. So I'll just show you the results. So yeah, these are the first results basically. And I'll just show you the code quickly. So it's much less code because it's basically only these functions here. And I had some problems figuring out how to pass the position and world to the shader, also how to pass the transform into it, but it was just like semantic issues and how to structure the code. And that's where the Fresnel example really helped me. And the nice part, when you only actually create the snippets or shader effects nodes, it comes down to a node which you can reuse in all the different material parts. So in this example, the example you see here right now, I just used the GPU float from this shader to blend between those two colors. And the nice thing about this is that it really is completely independent from UVs. So you can use this to blend two materials with complex UVs, and it will still be a pretty cool effect. You can use this for portals or teleportation or stuff like that. And yeah, and I'll show you a quick side effect. Since it also has a clipping feature, and since you can use this effect basically on any type of inputs on your material. In this case, I'm using it for the transparency and the color derp at the same time. So you can basically reuse it for many different purposes. You could also use this just to create a mask for your displacement map. So it only displaces in a certain area. So there's also a material blend example. Wait a second. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, the nice thing when you don't really create a shader that does everything in one and just have these snippets, you can basically use them like in a shader graph. And I'm just blending this PBR map here, which loads from a folder, with this color shader I created. It's based on the Fresnel work by Aka Visuals. And the nice thing again is we can just reuse the same value map here, this float map, and you can actually change the parameters a bit. So you can just change the blending value of the effect. So you can change the intensity of it, and you can change the base level as well if you create another layers in between. Yeah, and so that's what I learned today, basically.
Mm. Super nice. Thanks for immediately sharing what you learned. More people should do it like you and just join us and show us what they are learning.
Yeah, I just got super excited.
It's super nice. Like I can really see it used, on some video mapping installations. You have an object, and then you just start throwing these, just these geometries into it, and you could get really crazy with that. Do you see a way that you could like sample kind of points across the object in some easy way? Like the colors of, let's say, you pick a few normals and kind of the closest position, and you just want to sample it like a eyedropper, a 3D eyedropper. How hard would that be?
Well, for me, impossible currently, but yeah, I will try to figure out some more of these depth related texture or material masks, I guess, because it's super powerful. And yeah, one thing I didn't show is you can also just plug other stuff into it to multiply the effect, and then you get crazy gradients of the blend. So it's it's just I don't know. It just yesterday sort of clicked how modular this shader effects approach is, and it's sort of more like you're trying to build. If you have think of something like shader graph or shader forge in Unity, so it's more like you're trying to build these individual nodes you want to use for a complete shader, and that's kind of nice because you can reuse this in so many different ways. So
cool. Good to see people exploring these features.
Bravo.
Yeah. Any more questions, thoughts, comments, feedback? If not,
maybe one addition.
Yeah.
The calculation if something is inside the cube or outside the cube is I'm guessing is a kind of a formula in one of the shader snippets. So it's not a geometry.
Yeah. It's yeah. I think it's distance field or yeah.
So it's like a similar thing to assign distance field for a cube. And then my suggestion would be, hey, maybe it would be nice to have all the other methods for no, let me start differently. For SDFs, there is different methods for creating different primitives like a sphere, a cube, an ellipsoid, and all the other geometric primitives. So that would be a really nice addition if it would not be only able with a cube, but also with all the other sorts of geometries, and then maybe you can like combine them like in a SDF way. Like think about having two spheres, combining them to some 8-shape thing, and that would then be the mask. And in theory, this might be possible, I'd say, and that would be really super powerful, like a modular shader thingy.
Yeah, I think actually in MicroD's version, it's you can combine a torus and a cube, and yeah, it's really powerful. But yeah, I've tried to figure it out. So it's
Fine, you have 1 month now.
Okay.
For the next meetup, so take your time. Thanks for joining us again.
No pressure here, no pressure.
And I think that brings us to the last presentation of today. Sebastian, please take it away.
Okay, let me share the screen. Plop.
Yep.
You see it?
Yes, you're on.
Do you also see yourself? Oh no, I try to hide that thing. Okay. So I just started up the Gamma already. It's the latest version. And I also prepared like some websites because this is the OpenAI website and this is what this whole project is about. For the people not knowing OpenAI so well, this is a company doing stuff on machine learning, and they became quite famous in the last, I don't know, half a year or so, for their GPT-3 language model. This is like a really huge, oh no, there's nothing for us now. It's a huge language model, and it's a bit different from the other language models. And that's a thing I can maybe show you in this playground they provide. So if you have an account on their website, you can have access to this playground, and this is the place where you can tinker with the AI and look how it performs in different scenarios. And that's already the funny thing. If you want to do different things with this AI, is like what you're usually doing is when you want to achieve different things, like for example a chatbot is a different thing from a program that summarizes text for you, then you usually have different models performing these different tasks, and that is not the case here. So this is the same in single model, and you just push it to some direction by feeding it with some starting text. For example, this one here is the chat example from OpenAI, and they say, hey, the following is a conversation with an AI assistant, and so on. And this is enough to push the AI in a certain direction. So, for example, if you're changing to a different example, this is a translator from English to French. So the only difference between these two examples is this text and maybe one of these parameters, but there's really few parameters. Okay. So what we now usually do is, and I already did it, but I will show it to you, is we are going to the squad menu, to this manage NuGet thing, and then the command line thing. And then we say NuGet install vl.open AI. That's all you have to do. And so this time no pre is needed, and it also installs all the dependencies needed for this pack. And if you did that, then you have access to this VL NuGet, which you should find here. I just reference it. And the thing also comes with some help patches. Where is it? Here. So this thing is basically a really simple plugin or system or library. If you're entering this category, this is like all the nodes that are exposed. Like it's basically these 4 nodes here, which are named completion, completion request, search, and stream completion. And there is this API category. Let's first head into this category because that is the node that makes the connection to the online system. And there you have like 4 different nodes and an info node. This is just giving you some information, which is not that helpful. And what I made is to make this easy to use is like kind of copy the documentation from their documentation into the nodes documentation so that you can see, okay, which engine should I choose? Then you have like this little help text telling you something about it. So this is like the single node, and there is a ready pin here. This ready pin doesn't mean the system is up and running. It just says, hey, this engine called DaVinci is ready in general, because they are pre-releasing other models and they are maybe available but not running and so on. And the only input pin is like your API key you can get from, I have one here. It's just well, the text is inside here, but I wanted to hide the actual key because it's if you're using it a lot, then it costs some money. Okay, so and here is the OpenAI API coming out, and then you can, for example, use this completion node. So like it's like this. It has a button that says go, and it wants to have a request. And then it has some outputs like an observable of completion results, a pin that is indicating if the system is currently running, a pin that is indicating if there was an error while running. And if there was an error, then you get this error message. And for here, you want to feed the completion request. And here the same game kind of goes. It's a prompt, and all the pins are kind of labeled. And this thing kind of reflects what you see here. Like the prompt is exactly this text field, and all these pins are like these parameters. But now I'm a bit too lazy to code all of that, so I press maybe F1 to just use the help patch where I added everything except the API key. And let's have a short look for the short example. So like in this prompt here, I just Googled some distances from planets and entered this here and just left it here with this open field like here. And I'm saying like this is like the length of the results, which is quite high here. or not only one distance. And then you can see, okay, if you're pressing go, the system is running. And at some point, like I don't know, like after exactly 5.62 seconds, the result happened, and we then have here the result. And what's funny is that this result kind of completes what you entered here. So for example, if we are quickly doing no. Is it a spread of spread? No.
Oh, the second input, the output.
Yeah. Okay, then this is like of the final result. So in our prompt, we ended kind of here, and that is like the completion. I didn't check all the values, and it's a bit of cumbersome because planets have like varying distances to each other because of their elliptical shape. But yes, this is like the simplest. Well, no, it's the second simplest example you can do. Let's just close this for now, and then maybe go for the really simplest one, which is called search. And I will also demonstrate this with a help patch. I need this API key here. So what this does is it's a bit different. So it's you have to provide like two things. They are called the query and the documents. Is there a I don't know. I think this is the wrong help patch. So but the basic idea is that you're providing a list of things and a query, and then it's well, let's just run it. So I think you can guess what this will do. It gives you some weights on the documents for your query. Like Berlin is the capital of Germany, so this 500 here has the biggest weight. If you're changing this to like, I don't know, Washington, DC, and run it again, then you see like the biggest score is in the United States. Quite simple, but this is like a generally different from the completioner. Okay, and then the most funny thing is the so-called completion, the stream completion. This is like basically the same node like this one, but also comes with a result handler that works as a delegate. And the difference between this node and this node is that the parts of the result that is already calculated comes immediately as it is being calculated. So you don't have to wait for the whole thing, but the words drop in one by one. Let's say it like that. I'd say we are just having a look at two funny help patches I made. The first one is called text completion. Yeah, and this is the not so nice interface. So Ari, you have to help me out of this. But what you can do here is like type some text. I pre-filled this IO box with some text, and now we can see what is this. Vertical farming provides a novel solution for producing food locally, reducing transportation costs, and I don't know, let's say dramatically. Then press Control and like, okay, it has finished my sentence. And now I type a bit, and then we say, okay, next one, and so on. So this is the basic idea. And what I made here is like this result handler here is like every time a completion arrives here, then you get this completion, then you extract the text from that completion, and I just use that to add this spread of strings to a spread builder of strings. And after that, I send them to a pad, which then goes back to my drawing patch. This is just a drawing patch. So like what you see here is like basically the same as the help patch. Like we have one API node, we have a stream completion node, we have this completion request, and we have this little node, and this one is kind of directing the others and triggering them. Yeah. Maybe let's go with the, I think, funniest example. Because originally Yorick asked me to give a presentation here, and then I said, okay, but then you have to chat with the AI Yorick, and we didn't agree on that. So then I said, okay, then I want to chat with AI Yorick. So in this prompt, I added some kind of description of who is Yorick and what is vvvv, which is maybe related in the VV group and all the other members, and then we can start like having this conversation. And because I don't see him tonight, I ask how is Tebian and the others doing. And then let's see what Yorick answers. Oh, nothing. That's bad. Let's try this again. We also have an error here. That is correct because I just forgot to add my API key here. I have to use that. So once again, and then again. How is Fabian and all the others doing? Okay. How can I help you? You have given funnier answers in the past. I'm sorry about that. How is we going? I heard it comes with a 3D engine nowadays. Make a bug. Oh. We also have a link here. And what I really like is that you're focusing on documentation, but I'm a bit sad about that you don't ship the source code any longer. Yeah, okay.
Ask me about the Mac version.
Cross or multi-platform? Of course.
There we have it. It's done. That's it. We can stop now. AI has already confirmed.
Yeah.
You just need to feed the initial bit of the code, and it will finish the code for you. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, you're laughing, but it can do that. Like there is even examples like in this playground. One of the examples is like, let's have a look shortly. Text to command, which is quite funny. Like this is generating SQL commands from like simple questions. Yeah.
And does it, have you tried, if you were giving exactly the same prompts, would it always answer the exactly same things, or is it like randomizing?
No, it is not answering the exactly same things, but you can kind of control this with the parameters. I think like the presence penalty This increases the model's likelihood to talk about new topics. So like this value is with 0.6 quite high, so the AI is pushing more topics at the moment. And yeah, this is
but I'm wondering if tomorrow you ask it exactly the same things with exactly the same parameters.
Mm-hmm. No, it's mostly different answers then, but
Okay.
you can push it into a direction where it answers always the same thing. Like there is,
yeah, okay.
There is, it's not about like coding stuff like this, but it's more about what do I have to feed the system in this original prompt that it will fulfill my task.
Yeah.
And that's also the thing why this AI is so funny to play with, because usually when you're doing like 3 different experiments, between every experiment are some days of coding, and now you can just have like some minutes of writing between these experiments.
Yeah. And how much of the OpenAI API does this NuGet cover?
Yeah, there is, of course, there is open stuff. Like I didn't have a look at, for example, if a classical business thing is like you want to have a Q&A bot that answers question about your company. And it doesn't know about your company because it's not as famous as the vvvv company. And then you have like the possibility to upload like up to, I don't know, I think 200 documents that will then be like the basis of your search. And then they describe like different strategies to achieve like things like that. And I think I only missed like this document uploader. And sadly, this one isn't covered in the wrapper I use.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the wrapper has like, there's this comment here I discovered when I just enable like this parameter, which is just a 0 or 1 in the query at the end. It doesn't work, and I think it's the case because the wrapper is like 5 months old, and the API changed in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
But the wrapper is also quite simple, C#, and maybe at some time we have to fork it and yeah, fix this echo thing and maybe add the other things. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Anyone else with a comment, question?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
That was the question.
That was the answer to the question. Sorry.
Should try this with schoolwork. Just type in some stuff and see if it gets the right answer. Or I should just submit it, whatever the AI says, and watch what grade I get for it.
Could you ask it what is the best node?
Okay, but let's then start from the beginning, maybe. What is the best of all nodes?
Oh.
Append node. Is there an append node? I don't think so.
I don't remember seeing one. Maybe we're missing out.
Well,
but yeah, that's why Jörg is hiding the append node from us, because it's so good.
It's my favorite. Yeah, you don't get that.
There is actually one. I'm not sure what it's for though.
Ah, there is one.
I think it might be one of the advanced ones.
Ah, I can't type now. Oh, there's even more.
String builder append.
Okay.
So, do you see any practical application for that? Have you thought about like how this could like help you in a project? Do you see, and other than playing around with this, like?
Yeah, totally. So I'd say at least in like a prototyping phase, it will help you immensely, because you can like immediately have some AI system that does something, at least, even if it's like not perfect or only in like every second case it's a good output. But yeah, you can have it like in 10 minutes. But and on the other side, I'd also say it's not if you want to have a product, it's not that simple. Then you really have to tinker with all these parameters and really know about them. So you have to learn a bit about that system. But yeah, for certain tasks, you can definitely build a product out of that if you want to.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Do we have questions, comments?
I have other question. Can you make ask for the solution of a formula or something like that? 2 + 2, what is that?
Yeah.
I could tell you that.
Yeah, let's maybe have a bit more difficult math question.
I don't know. I'm not really into math.
Oh. I should have made a space between Yorick and a bit of everything. So it's a really Yorick-y question answer of. Sure.
Can someone check that?
I can do that for you. It's wrong.
Okay, so much
but
regarding AI.
Doesn't matter. It convinced me.
Yeah.
It's like to ask to a friend or something like that. Hey, how much is something?
Yeah, but it's really about this entry text. For example, in the playground, the chat has like this entry, and it just says the assistant is helpful, creative, clever, and very friendly. And if you ask him questions, then he would be more truthful, because you say it's helpful and clever. And I never said that Yorick is clever in my statement in the prompt. Sorry about all the jokes, but
I think we should stop it here. Should we do a little wrap up? What have we seen today? First, we saw the first massively multiplayer dice playing game ever developed in vvvv by Finn. We played the full game and David won. That was quite impressive already. Then we had Anton announced his webinar. So this is again webinar this Friday. When does it start? What time, Anton?
2 p.m. Berlin time.
2 p.m. for 3 hours. It's a nice afternoon activity. This Friday, learn more about Stride 3D engines stuff. Then we had Ari demonstrating his, what do you call this? Is it a synth or?
It's a multi-track MIDI composer.
There you have it, a multi-track MIDI composer.
Kind of.
That's. Thanks. That was quite something. Then we had Brian jump in and show us what he learned today about shader effects. That was a nice one. I encourage everyone to do this once in a while. Just jump in and show us what you're up to. And last but not least, we had Sebastian showing us the latest nugget he was wrapping, the OpenAI wrapper.
You forgot Ari.
Sorry?
You forgot Ari, didn't you?
No.
No? Oh, sorry. Then I missed it.
Fine.
I'm sorry.
The multi-track MIDI
composer.
Yeah, I think once again it was a blast. Any final comments let's ask our regular person. How did you like today's meetup?
Yeah, it was great. I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. And actually, I'm also just wondering what's happening with the Fuse. Do you know?
So I was pressing Fuse to give an update today, and they refused to give an update. I know that they are hard working on it, but I couldn't get any statement from them for today. So I'm quite sure that next meetup they will have something. Cool. Who else? Gufork, it was your first meeting, and also Sabi. Any comments from your end? What have you learned today? Anything inspirational for you?
Well, I quite enjoyed myself. I was very impressed by Ari's sequencer thingy. Yeah, I'm very inspired to try and try some MIDI sequencing of my own. It's wonderful to see all this, the flexibility of vvvv, all different things you can do. So yeah, I'll most certainly try some MIDI interfacing.
Cool. And whenever you have anything to show, please come back.
Well, of course.
Thanks for being here today. And Sabi.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really enjoyed this session. What I took away from this is that actually vvvv Gamma is even much more capable than I thought. I was always kind of wondering how you can build actual desktop applications in it. And today I saw a bunch of examples that demonstrated just that. So yeah, I really enjoyed this session, and I'm looking forward to meeting you again.
Cool. And you said in the beginning that you are working with embedded devices and things.
Yeah,
and that you might have something to show for next time.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just taking note here. We will have probably Sabi next time. No pressure. Just
I'll be glad. I'll be glad. I'm
Super.
gonna watch out for your newsletter.
Cool. So then let's go back to the grid view. I hope we see now everyone again. I think that should be it. David, any final words? Shall we just shut it off?
No, I don't. I don't have a final word. We can switch it off. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Fun for me. It was a pleasure to have you all. Thank you for being here, and hope to see you next month. Again.
See you.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. By the way, Ari, have you seen this program called Orca? It's this. I'll just throw you the link. It's a grid-based virtual machine for generating MIDI. It's quite strange, but I think you might enjoy it.
Yeah.